Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Puppet Master is weak. Have you ever heard of Pain's 6 ways? However, just when the three of them thought that Yi Heng's puppet was doomed, something more unexpected happened to them. The two palms of the Iron Cat demon were suddenly cut open, and then the intact Asura Dao Pain jumped from it, and from the beginning of the battle to now, the other party's face was filled with a contemptuous expression. It seems that all this is nothing to him at all. Immediately afterwards, he raised his right fist and aimed it at the abdomen of the Iron Cat demon in front of him, and as a smooth cut appeared at the wrist, the fist was actually launched forward like a bazooka. As if the speed was extremely fast and the power was extremely great, everyone only felt that a black shadow flashed, and the abdomen of the Iron Cat demon in front of them had exploded into a big hole. A huge amount of dirty blood gushed out of it, and as it dripped to the ground, it began to emit a disgusting smell. As the ultimate beneficiary, Yi Heng also directly received a prompt from the system. Open black lens bracket ding dong. Congratulations to the host for successfully passing the nightmare quest, Ghost Cat Demon. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket get drop materials. Ghost Cat Hair X50, Demonized Chopper Cat Claw X4, Nether Cat Pupil X2, Phantom Step Skill Scroll X1 Assassin Cat Stuff Cloak X1, Level 1 Mutant Warcraft Core X1. Open black lens bracket. Total experience. 5,000 points. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Overall score. S. No additional rewards. Personal rating. SSS Extra Bonus Intermediate Storage Ring X1. Close black lens bracket. ... This is the end of it. The First Order Nightmare Quest is nothing but that. Quote. ... Quote. Yi Heng looked at the Iron Cat beast that had been cleaned up by the Asura Dao, and took all the rewards of this copy with an indifferent face. He basically passed the nightmare level copy this time, and the other three did not help him at all. There is no need and no deserve to share the remuneration with him. After briefly counting the gains, Yi Heng began to sum them up in his heart. In addition to all the Warcraft materials obtained, this assassin's skill scroll alone can be exchanged for millions of alliance coins in the bazaar. It's totally enough to exchange for the cost of making the materials for the second pain. Quote. When the time comes, I will control the Asura Dao and the Hell Dao at the same time. It is absolutely impossible for the same rank to have my opponent. Yi Heng first clicked on the production template of the 6 paths of pain, of which aside from the Asura Dao that he had already successfully made, among the other 5 pain, the lowest threshold at present was to have the innate art of reincarnation, of the Hell Road. He was able to channel Hades directly through psychic arts and take away the tongue of the person lying in front of him. It can also be resurrected by chewing the broken pain with full blood, which can be described as attacking, retreating and defending, completing the problem that pain's 6 paths are currently damaged and cannot be repaired. It can be said that as long as it can successfully create the Hell Dao, then it will definitely not be as simple as 1 + 1 = 2 between it and the Asura Dao. He can even directly make a leap in his own strength. Really fake. Did you just see that the boss of the nightmare copy was actually killed by that puppet creation in one blow? Juan Ren's expression now is completely like hitting a ghost. He never thought of this kind of scene. The first time he entered the nightmare copy, he was actually able to kill the final boss in seconds. This person is actually a puppeteer template. At the moment, he has a strong suspicion of the world, and he seems to be nothing compared to the other party. However, after just doubting himself for a while, his full attention was attracted by the Phantom Step skill scroll held in Yi Heng's hand. It was a scroll that only the assassin class could learn, and now it was simply priceless. Basically, as soon as it appears on the market, it will be included in advance by major famous stores, and this kind of thing is completely unwanted, and only in the nightmare copy there is a chance to burst this kind of thing. Just when he was still thinking about how rare the Phantom Scrolls were, Yi Heng directly chose to leave the copy, not ready to look at them a few times. Wait, brother, I know we didn't help much, but can this final loot be sold to us at market prices? No, I'm willing to pay half the market price. Yes, we also want to bid on some materials that drop inside the quest. At the same time that Yi Heng chose to walk out of the copy, several people who were still stunned behind him instantly came to the spirit and quickly made a reservation. After all, they are all materials dropped in nightmare quests, and the rewards are worth more than other easy dungeons or hard dungeons. If they could purchase a little resource from Yi Heng's side, it would definitely be able to reduce a lot of their burden in future cultivation. Want to buy loot? Yes, but I must be shown your sincerity. Yi Heng understood the meaning of the three people in front of him, and then prepared all the resources except for the intermediate storage ring for trading, and all the prices were half higher than the current market price. After all, if he didn't buy or slaughter, just by looking at the look in front of Wan Ren to the phantom step in his hand, Yi Heng knew that this deal would definitely not fail. In the end, after the two sides discussed the price for a long time, Yi Heng easily sold all the direct proceeds brought by this copy. Harvested a full 1.7 million union coins. Compared to the value when it cost 250,000 to manufacture Asura Dao pain, it was several times higher. And Yi Heng also managed to directly obtain the income of a middle-class family for several years in less than a day, and I have to say that he can become a combat professional. There will definitely be no shortage of money in the future. This oil and water is too much. After the successful transaction, Yi Heng also chose to leave the nightmare copy without the slightest hesitation, and with the strong dizziness when he came, the scene in front of him also began to change at the same time. At the same time, in the replica hall, all the newcomers who were still nervously waiting to enter the replica suddenly saw the light at the exit of the quest. They knew that it should be the last group of people who entered the copy to complete the copy, but when they saw the few people who came out, and the copy that had just passed, almost everyone present went crazy because they found out that someone had successfully passed the nightmare level dungeon for the first time. On weekdays, this is only a very few people in the country who can pass. Could it be that their Qinglong city is out of Tianzhou this time? It's unbelievable, really fake. Someone was able to successfully pass the nightmare level copy. We were a 4-person squad, and 4 hidden class templates couldn't pass difficult dungeons alone. There is no doubt that these people are definitely the best in today's hidden career template, otherwise how could they have passed the first time they experienced the nightmare copy? It's really outrageous. You guys look at those people who seem to be holding the equipment that has exploded in the replica in their hands. So envious. There are actually skill scrolls. Quote. Skill scrolls are priceless, and some people can't buy them even if they have money, and sure enough, these things can only be burst in this extremely difficult copy. Countless professionals looked at Yi Heng and the others with fanatical eyes, wishing that they could also blend into such a team, but what they didn't know was, in the entire team, it was just Yi Heng's vassal. It is completely the existence of tool people, and it does not matter at all whether they are there or not. Now that I have 1.7 million alliance coins, I should be able to put together all the materials needed to make Hell Dao pain. After Yi Heng walked out of the nightmare copy, he immediately sank his thoughts into his body, and then clicked on the manufacturing template of Pain's 6 paths, and a blue barrage suddenly appeared in front of him that only he could see. Pain's 6 paths. Hell Road current template materials make up progress, 0%. Production necessary materials. 4th Order Warcraft Core, a large number of living souls, the flesh and blood of the 3-headed dog of hell, the eyes of Hell Yan Luo. After successful manufacturing, the host will inherit all the reincarnation eye abilities of Hell Dao Pain. Close black lens bracket. Compared to the Asura Dao made for the first time, the materials required for the Hell Dao are more expensive. Light alone as a 4th Order Warcraft Core, it will cost me 1 million alliance coins, and as for the flesh and blood of the remaining Hell 3-headed dog, it will cost about 700,000 yuan with the eyes of Hell Yan Luo. The souls of a large number of living beings in the end, this is estimated to take a lot of time. After Yi Heng glanced at the materials needed to make the Hell Dao, he had an estimate in his heart about the value he would probably spend, and the 1.7 million alliance coins that he had just exchanged from Wan Ren's group were estimated to be handed over. But he didn't feel too much distress in his heart. After all, how many Pain 6 Daos can be produced will directly determine his subsequent combat power, and as the combat power becomes stronger and stronger, affiliate coins are still very easy to obtain. Thinking of this, Yi Heng did not waste much time standing at the replica door, and directly chose to walk out from the replica hall. Start preparing and next make the materials for the Hell Road. At the same time, tens of minutes after Yi Heng left the copy hall, Wan Ren and the others, who had already gone to the hospital, were suddenly visited by a group of professionals wearing black long robes. Judging from the expressions on their faces, something should have come. Is it that you passed the nightmare level copy not long ago? First, introduce yourself. My name is Bing Langson, and I am also the current president of the Black Dragon Guild. I don't know if you are interested in joining our Black Dragon Guild. Missions are delegated on weekdays, and all resources in the guild will have discounts, which is much cheaper than the market price. Soon, a tall woman walked out of the crowd in a black robe. Her voice was so magnetic that people would remember it instantly even if they heard it for the first time. Black Dragon Guild. It is currently the largest professional guild in the entire Qinglong city. I heard that as long as you can enter it, you will definitely be able to become a sixth-order powerhouse in the future. As long as it is the resource materials that can be burst out of the copy today, they can be found in the guild. After Wan Ren, Wang Ming and the others heard what Bing Langson said, their faces immediately blushed. My heart gave birth to a great honor. Obviously, regarding the name of the Black Dragon Guild, they must be thunderous as citizens of Qinglong City. There was even a direct saying recently that as long as he could be invited by the Black Dragon Guild, he would definitely be able to become a sixth-order powerhouse in the future. Be a strong party. However, even if the three of them were excited in their hearts and wanted to blend into the Black Dragon Guild, they still had self-awareness. They know. The person who passed the nightmare copy for the first time was actually someone else. Puppet Master is weak. Have you ever heard of Pain's 6 Ways? 7. Puppet Master is weak. Have you ever heard of Pain's 6 Ways? Chapter 7. I'm sorry, although we really want to enter the Black Dragon Guild, the last nightmare copy was not cleared by our power at all. It's another turnkey with a puppeteer. Wang Ming did not let himself get a lot of convenience because he could blend into the Black Dragon Guild in the future, but directly told all the things he and the others had seen in the nightmare copy. The description of the Asura Dao puppet owned by Yiheng is even more detailed. Wearing a uniform with a red cloud on a black background, and with various black rods of unknown names inserted on the body, although it is a puppet, it has agility that is not inferior to real people, and has four-dimensional attributes far beyond the same level. Look at the whole. The people who can compare with him in the same session are estimated to have not slapped a single person. It's just a living monster. Puppeteer, do you know what you're talking about? People with this kind of career template can't even make a puppet at this stage. Quote. How is it possible to have the kind of strength you just mentioned? After the members of the Black Dragon Guild heard what Wang Ming said, their faces showed doubts. What kind of jokes? Someone who has a puppeteer template alone will be able to pass a nightmare level copy for the first time. This kind of thing, don't say that they don't believe it, even if it is said to anyone on the street, they won't believe it. It's just too pumping. Make them unacceptable. Whether you believe it or not, this is the case. The three of us have to do our best even to deal with ordinary monsters in the nightmare replica. And for him, the boss will also be killed instantaneously. Wang Ming continued to speak, and as soon as the words about Yiheng's ability to instantly kill the nightmare level copy boss came out, the faces of several people in the Black Dragon Guild in front of him suddenly changed again and again. Being able to pass the nightmare copy for the first time doesn't say you can actually kill the final quest boss with one hit. Are you sure this is not bragging? How could someone have just changed jobs and have such outrageous four-dimensional attributes, as well as combat effectiveness? It doesn't sound like a human, but rather like a monster. But at the moment, they can't be sure whether what the people in front of them said is true. The only thing they can be sure of is there was definitely something wrong with the puppeteer who entered the quest at the same time as them. Looks like it's time to pay a visit. You guys go and check the true identity of the puppeteer who just entered the nightmare copy these days. If after verification, the strength is indeed not different from what they say, you must choose to recruit. After seeing that the few people in front of her were unwilling to take credit and enter the Black Dragon Guild, Bing Langson did not continue to choose to recruit. After all, they would not recruit people without strength. If you really let someone who doesn't have the strength to enter the guild, it will definitely not feel good. Yes. After hearing Bing Langson's words, the members of the Black Dragon Guild immediately nodded, ready to go out and start looking for information about Yiheng. About 5 hours later, Yiheng, who had already exchanged 1.7 million alliance coins in the trading market for the materials for making Hell Dao Pain. With a face full of excitement, he rushed back home, ready to get hands-on about the production of the second Pain 6. After closing the bedroom door as usual, Yi Heng immediately clicked on the production interface of Hell Dao Pain, and then put all the materials of the land he had just purchased through the alliance coin. The template information in front of him suddenly changed. Most of the materials that were originally needed suddenly disappeared. In the end, only the last item remains. A large number of souls. This last material, as long as you can get together, then you can directly create the Hell Dao, and obtain all the reincarnation abilities about the Hell Dao. But at the moment this material is simple, and it is a little difficult to say difficult. A large number of souls is needed, and you can break through a large number of copies and use those souls that kill monsters to make the hell path, but there is no doubt. This will inevitably cost Yi Heng a lot of time and money. But these efforts are nothing compared to the results. And just when Yi Heng was thinking about brushing a few more nightmare-level copies in a few days, the door of his bedroom was suddenly pushed open, and then a silhouette walked in. At first glance, it turned out to be his sister, Tang Xiu. The moment he saw her, Yi Heng suddenly began to wonder in his heart. It seemed that he would not be able to escape being stinked by the other party in the future. However, just when he was thinking about how the other party would laugh at him, Tang Xiu in front of him spoke. "Brother, do you know the cadet assessment in a few days?" As soon as the words fell, Yi Heng suddenly thought of such a thing in his heart, and soon his thoughts began to unfold, and then he subconsciously replied. "I remember that in the classroom, the old class seemed to say that as long as you can get the first place in the college assessment, you can get the fifth order copy materials given in the name of the school, and you don't need to pay out of your own pocket. And it is possible for higher education institutions to throw olive branches. Quote, as for the reward for the first place, the fifth order copy material. This kind of thing Yi Heng is inevitable. After all, the things he relies on to make the 6 paths of pain now rely on a large number of monster materials. If you can select a large number of materials from the fifth order replicas, then he can try the beast Dao Pain who does not dare to think about it at this stage. But if the materials are together, then he can directly manufacture the beast Dao Pain, and his comprehensive combat power will begin to increase at a geometric speed. You're thinking a little too much. If you can get the first place, you usually form a team in the first few years. And these people will not look for puppeteers to come to the team." Tang Xiu looked at Yi Heng's words, and couldn't help but poke his pain point. After all, every year the student assessment is participated in the form of a team. In addition to a part of the horizontal test, there is also a selection test. As long as normal students can pass the level test, then they can successfully enter the college entrance examination. Some top students can take this opportunity to get some help before the college entrance examination arrives. Use eye-catching operations are powerful career templates to attract teachers from colleges and universities for early admissions. Therefore, the assessment of students is also an assessment with a huge difference in level. Quote, then how are you prepared? To be able to awaken the career template of the Holy Light Goddess, there should be no shortage of opportunities to enter the top team. Congratulations in advance on being admitted to a prestigious school. Yi Heng was suddenly a little helpless, but he didn't expect that his things as a puppeteer were still taken out and said, wait for him to make all the pain 6 ways. At that time, you won't think so. I don't have much desire for early admission, and this student assessment is just a paddle. It's you, but I heard that no one has teamed up with you until now. Without a team, this student assessment directly determines that you have not passed, and you will not be able to graduate at that time. Can't get the certificate, but there is no way to work. Tang Xiu said in a remindful tone, with a faint blush on his face. No team. Directly determined that the college assessment cannot be passed. What a fallacy. After Yi Heng heard what Tang Xiu said, he suddenly felt helpless in his heart, unable to pass the academy assessment, far from being as simple as it seems. As long as it is judged that he did not graduate from the academy, then there is no state-issued professional certificate. At that time, it will not be possible to participate in the monster copy above the third order on its own, and when the time comes, it was a bit of a hassle for him to get the crafting materials to make the 6 ways of pain. Thinking about it this way, he still needs to form a temporary team, which is a bit troublesome. Looking at the way you look, I must not have thought of such a thing. Don't worry, I just don't have a team, it's better to just team up with us. 2 of us teamed up. It's not impossible. Then it's decided, see you at school the day after tomorrow. After Tang Xiu heard Yi Heng agree to his request to form a team, he immediately turned around and walked out of the bedroom, leaving Yi Heng standing in place in confusion. How does it feel? A bit of a conspiracy feeling. But surprisingly, I couldn't refuse. Yi Heng shook his head helplessly, saying that everything currently had to pave the way for the production of Pain's 6 paths, before he could successfully produce Heavenly Dao Pain. He all needs to honestly climb up step by step. Thinking of this, Yi Heng clicked on his system panel again, and after checking the production process of Hell Dao Pain for a while, he turned off the lights and lay down on the bed and gradually fell asleep. Puppet Master is weak. Have you ever heard of Pain's 6 ways? 8. Puppet Master is weak. Have you ever heard of Pain's 6 ways? Chapter 8. Early the next morning, Yi Heng was woken up by the alarm clock he had set in advance, and after putting on his school uniform, he joined Tang Xiu, who was waiting at the door, and walked towards Qinglong City No. 1 middle school together. As the largest middle school in the city, the student assessment can be seen, and the scale and the attention of the upper echelons can be seen. Just before Yi Heng and Tang Xiu came to the academy, the school was already surrounded by a sea of students and parents. Most of them are to accompany them, and only a few people really want to participate in the next student assessment. I didn't expect the academy assessment to start so soon. I think when I took this assessment, it seems to be a few years ago. A few years ago, I took the college assessment. Uncle, I'll ask you a word, how many times did you stay? I'm so nervous. I didn't expect to have a horizontal test so soon, and although I just wanted to graduate smoothly, it was quite scary just to look at this situation. Rest assured, the academy, for the sake of fairness, assist professions such as life that currently have no combat power. As long as you can successfully mix with the team, you can basically pass, and you don't have to worry about playing in person. That being said, you must also show some professional ability and support the team to win, otherwise how can you pass smoothly? Half an hour later, Yi Heng and Tang Xiu had just arrived, and they saw this somewhat shocking scene in front of them. About this, Yi Heng couldn't help but fantasize about the college entrance examination in the near future. Compared with the previous life to cross several classes with results, the college entrance examination results in this world will directly determine a person's life. As long as you can log into a prestigious school, the college and the state will personally provide students with a large number of cultivation resources, and there will even be special teachers to help students brush the level. In this regard, Yi Heng's heart is naturally extremely yearning. This yearning is not only to be able to gather all the 6 pine template materials in a short time, but more importantly, expectations for the college entrance examination. If at that time, if you can summon Heavenly Dao Pain in the examination room, what a worldwide shock that would be. With Yi Heng, no, to be precise, with the arrival of Tang Xiu, the nearby crowd suddenly began to stir, and it could be seen that he could have a good face and would be very welcome no matter where he was. Not to mention, Tang Xiu also awakened the extremely powerful Holy Light Goddess template in the hidden profession. As long as he didn't die in the future, he would definitely be able to become a 7th order venerable. And this is undoubtedly a plus, which will attract a large number of suitors. Yi Heng saw it in his eyes and in his heart. After all, although the other party is his cheap sister, he will also marry in the future. Thinking of this, he actually had a very uncomfortable feeling. But after all, this is just Yi Heng's own thoughts, and the will of the other party is what really needs to be respected in the future. Just when Yi Heng was mixed in the crowd, trying not to see him as much as possible, his back was suddenly patted down, and when he turned his head, a young man with an inch head and a smile appeared in front of him. And the identity of the other party, Yi Heng, is not unfamiliar, and it can even be said that he is very familiar. It is his dead friend in the 3rd year of high school, Wan Yang. Not long ago, the berserker template that just woke up to the almost rotten street, although it may not be able to enter a prestigious school in the future, but it is already a sure thing to become a combat profession and become a middle class in the future. Even if the future prospects are very bright, plus the personality, the appearance is very good. There are not few people who have pursued him recently. How's it going, Brother Hang? I originally planned to participate in this student assessment and team up with you, but I found that I couldn't contact you at all in those days. In the end, I had to make up someone temporarily. Wan Yang looked at Yi Heng in front of him and complained a little. Originally this time the trainee assessment, he was worried that Yi Heng, who was a puppet master, would not have anyone to form a team, and in the end, he would not be able to pass the school assessment. So in order to wait for him, he refused the invitation of some teams. Outcome. Just when he thought about how to open his mouth to invite, the other party directly lost contact, making him a little helpless. Quote. I've been a little busy lately and forgot to reply to you. After hearing what Wan Yang said, Yi Heng immediately felt very embarrassed. It seemed that he had not logged onto social media for a long time since he awakened the system, on the one hand, because he really didn't have time to reply, and on the other hand, he was really too happy. Who can withstand the temptation to not make it after successfully manufacturing the 6 ways of pain? Therefore, I did not remember such a thing as a student assessment until recently. Fortunately, Tang Xiu told him at that time, otherwise it would definitely delay things. There is no need to apologize for this little thing. Which of us two is with whom? Unexpectedly, you actually teamed up with Tang Xiu. Who could say it? The college assessment is considered stable. When the assessment is over, go out to eat, I will treat you. Wan Yang did not remember it in the slightest, and after learning that Yi Heng had teamed up with Tang Xiu now, he immediately relaxed his heart, and the two began to communicate enthusiastically. Completely snubbed their respective teammates. It was at this time that a louder sensation suddenly came from outside the door, and I saw 3 people wearing fine equipment, with proud faces and student appearances, striding in. The reaction of the crowd brought by the 3 of them was no less than that of Tang Xiu at the beginning. Moreover, as soon as several people entered the school gate, they surrounded Yi Heng, Tang Xiu, Wan Yang and others, among which the young man with a magic staff in his hand said lightly. Some people are just selfish. In order to pass the student assessment, he did not hesitate to ruin his sister's future. It stands to reason that the template of the puppeteer has no combat ability at all, even if it can pass the academy assessment and get a professional certificate. It's not the same to go to the rear of the country to do a civilian job. Quote. The person who spoke was named Gao Ming, and his academic performance had always been ordinary, but he broke out at the awakening ceremony and actually had one of the strongest career templates. Thunder Mage. At this stage, it can unleash terrifying lightning skills, and it is difficult to have opponents of the same level. And now, he is also some villain who knows and talks about things everywhere. Gao Ming, pay attention when you speak, be careful not to flash your tongue. Wan Yang could hear that the other party was secretly mocking Yi Heng, saying that he was just a person who relied on his sister. Hearing this, he almost shot directly and did it with Gao Ming. But he was stopped by Yi Heng in time. It finally stopped things from fermenting. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with you here, Gao Ming. Tang Xiu heard the situation here, and also hurriedly walked over, blocking Yi Heng's face, and said with a cold face. Ha, Tang Xiu, don't think that your awakened career template is better than mine, you can be arrogant now. This time, the teams that participated in the college assessment are all among the top in this school. I will definitely be able to break the previous college record, be admitted to a prestigious school in advance, and when the time comes, the university resources will be invested in me. Future achievements must be a few heads higher than you. After Gao Yang saw Tang Xiu come out for Yi Heng, although he was grunting in his heart, he did not lose to the other party in his face. After posing several people one after another, he was not ready to give up after raising his current status to a height that he did not belong to. Seeing this, Yi Heng was not ready to get used to the other party, and said directly, I'm sorry, the first place in this student assessment is ours. And you're just a clown. As soon as the words fell, everyone around was in an uproar, staring at Yi Heng and suddenly began to laugh. After all, everyone now knows that the most useless puppeteer template was awakened in the original ceremony. Just rely on this template, let alone be able to become the first in this student assessment. Even passing the proficiency test is a problem. At the moment, they just took what Yi Heng just said as angry words, and no one would take it seriously. And it was also after Yi Heng said this, he took Tang Xiu and Wan Yang and left here, so he will not deliberately argue with everyone present now. After all, only the result can tell everything. As long as he can pass the next student assessment smoothly and achieve the best results, then he will definitely be able to hit everyone present in the face at that time. Shut up, all of them completely. Ha. This is urgent. Gao Ming was also shocked by what Yi Heng had just said, but then a thick disdain appeared on his face, as if he didn't believe that the other party could surpass him with just one Tang Xiu. Right now, he really wanted to see the expression on the other party's face when the assessment was over. On the other side of the Yi Heng, who had moved away from the crowd and walked towards the academy assessment site, also stopped. He was just waiting for the academy assessment to begin now. At that time, it will definitely surprise everyone. Yi Heng wants me to say, don't pay attention to that bastard Gao Yang this time. He is the villain who learns that he will definitely suffer a big loss in the future. Wan Yang walked over and began to comfort Yi Heng when he spoke. He knew that what Gao Yang did this time was simply poking a pain point in public. Not a little bit of camaraderie. But surprisingly, he found that Yi Heng was not angry, but his demeanor was very calm, as if he had expected this. Are you okay, brother Heng? How do you feel? Like your eyes are about to kill now? Quote. What can I do? The college assessment will be held later, and my sister and I will go over first, and we will talk to you later. Yi Heng saw Wanyang's fool-like expression in front of him, and he couldn't wait to give him 2 punches now, but considering that his sister was by his side, the impact may not be as good. So after directly saying a sentence, he walked towards the assessment site, leaving Wan Yang standing alone in place. Although the other party was very puzzled in his heart, he still attributed Yi Heng's calmness to the calm before the storm. After all, he has just set a flag with Gao Yang, and if he does not reach the first place in the academy assessment, he will leave a lot of jokes. Although, as brothers, I want to believe in each other, but the template of puppeteer is too special. In the end, Wan Yang still had no way to turn around and leave, and the assessment of the trainees was about to begin, and it was not a way for him to continue to stay here. Puppet Master is weak. Have you ever heard of Pain's 6 ways? 9. Puppet Master is weak. Have you ever heard of Pain's 6 ways? Chapter 9. About half an hour, the students who had been on campus went to the playground, which was the place where today's college assessment took place. Long before their arrival, a rune stone that was constantly emitting a magical light had been placed on the playground. This rune stone is forged by the special power of the state, and it contains a large number of first-order and second-order copies for each academy to open the academy assessment every year. And the next battle is about to start in the form of guarding the position, as long as it can ensure that the position is not occupied by Warcraft, and clear waves of Warcraft attacks as the main rule. Whoever kills the number of monsters, and the higher the rank, the more points will be obtained. The more points, the more it directly determines the final ranking. It stands to reason that the average student team in the student assessment cannot insist on the invasion of second-order monsters, and basically when they just insist on reaching the first-order nightmare-level monsters, they will collapse in an instant. To this, Yi Heng knew very well in his heart, and the purpose of his coming here in the first place was to see where his limit was, and use the souls generated by killing a large number of monsters to make the hell road. As for whether he would encounter monsters that he couldn't handle, Yi Heng didn't pay attention to this at all. After all, if he couldn't handle it, it would be even more impossible for others to handle it. I hope that in the next assessment, there will be enough monsters so that I don't have to run a few more times. This time, I will directly make the hell Dao. Yi Heng's eyes flashed, but if he could create a pain, it would bring a geometric increase in his strength, and it was also the most direct source of subsequent strength. They didn't stay in place for long, and after Yi Heng and the others saw that the academy assessment had begun, they walked directly towards the rune stone in front of them. Soon, a message pop-up box popped up in front of them. Whether you choose to enter the student assessment, this assessment copy accommodates 1 to 2 level copy monsters. Open black lens bracket. Number of participants, 2 to 4 people. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Ding dong. If you have detected that the team meets the number of people and is about to enter the Forest Secret Realm quest, please be prepared. Without too much nonsense, After the runestone detected that the number of people in Yi Heng's team was not unexpected, it directly refracted a large amount of energy beams. It shone out at the two of them, and soon a strong and incomparable sense of light was heard, and then the scene in front of them changed. In the copy of the secret realm of Sen, Yi Heng and Tang Xiu, who had successfully teleported here through runestones, both opened their eyes and looked at the dense bushes in front of them, covering the canopy of the sky. And if there is a green mist in the air, it should be emitted by some kind of plant. At present, it seems that there should be no toxins. Just after the two entered the copy, Tang Xiu turned his head to look at Yi Heng behind him and said a little apologetically, "Brother, I didn't expect it to be because of me this time. Let you encounter this kind of thing." But, before Tang Xiu finished speaking, Yi Heng directly interrupted and spoke. "This matter, it's not your problem at all. I myself awakened the professional template of the puppeteer, and there will definitely be many people who will be prejudiced in the future. It's not uncommon for people like Gao Ming. Over time, I'll definitely get used to it. If anyone dares to say you, I will definitely beat him." "Okay, all right." Yi Heng listened to Tang Xiu beside him constantly, verbose, and immediately waved his hand helplessly, indicating that this kind of thing had nothing to do with the other party at all. "Next, you just need to pass the college assessment quietly." It was when the two were still talking, a small screen emitting blue light suddenly appeared in front of them, on which all the teams participating in the academy assessment were announced. And after the squad name, there is also an indication of the number of points. It seems that all the warcraft killed in the copy will be presented on this in the form of points, and according to the number of points, the ranking is directly decided. If you want to obtain the 5th order copy materials funded by the Academy, you must reach the first place in this ranking, and if you just want to complete the Academy assessment level test, you just need to fight off the first wave of quest monsters. It is very simple, and only the presence of auxiliary classes in the team is required to pass. A 2-person team is not the same as a 4-person team. We get twice as many points as a 4-player squad, which means that for killing a warcraft, we get twice as many points. Quote. It doesn't seem to be a loss because of the small number of squads. Quote. It's fair play for everyone. Yi Heng looked at the introduction of the rules on the points list in front of him, and silently began to calculate in his heart how to get points faster. Brother, don't think about this, we just need to pass the first wave of monsters. When you get out, go straight home. Don't go back to school before the college entrance examination. When Tang Xiu heard Yi Heng's words, she suddenly cried and laughed. Although she hated people like Gao Yang very much, she had no hope that she could get the first place in this academy assessment. Now she is too weak to exert the full power of the career template of the Goddess of Light. Otherwise, it would not be where we are today. Okay. Yi Heng was not in a hurry to refute with the other party. After all, now that he has entered the copy, it is only a matter of time before his strength is exposed, and then even if he waits a little longer. Thinking of this, he also silently clicked the start of this assessment, and as the will was communicated, a large number of monsters with green skin and short stature suddenly appeared in the open space in front of him. They are born with pointed gills, long noses, and a variety of crude weapons in their hands. It looks very barbaric and low class. If nothing else, it should be a low-level monster that only appears in first-order copies, and the information that Yi Heng fed back through the reconnaissance technique did not appear unexpectedly, and the 4-dimensional attribute was pitiful. Race: Goblin. Closing square bracket. Rank: 5. Strength: 7. Physical strength: 5. Agility: 8. Wisdom: 3. Skill: tearing, pounding. Closing square bracket. It was a world away from the cat demon he encountered in the nightmare copy. At that time, Asura Dalpain could directly kill in seconds, facing these weak chickens. It's completely out of the question. Outright crushing. At the same time, after Yi Heng and Tang Xiu discovered the goblin in front of them at the same time, they also felt the breath from the human body at the same time, and their eyes were quickly replaced by scarlet. This is followed by complete madness, although their individual strength is very weak, but disgusting. Once they pounce on their prey, then all the nearby goblins will pounce together. It is impossible to let go of a bite until the prey has been eaten up. Soon, along with the goblins standing in front, they began to charge, and all the goblins lying in the grass behind them rushed towards Yi Heng and Tang Xiu like off-string flying arrows. Their ugly, diminutive figures weave through the grass, making it difficult to tell from which direction they will launch a general attack. There are quite a few of them, about 7 or 8. This attack, Yi Heng did not intend to make a move. He currently also wanted to see what kind of power Tang Xiu, who had the template of the goddess of light, had. How does the gap compare to yourself? Holy light. Before Yi Heng could react, Tang Xiu, who was standing in front of him, immediately began to chant incantations, and then a large number of runes began to appear on his body. The whole person is also shrouded in a large number of light elements, looking very dignified and beautiful. Like an angel walking out of the myth, people feel that they can only watch from afar and cannot be played, and after half a ring, a large number of light element damage is recruited in the area of 10 meters in front of them. The goblin squad that had just attacked suddenly lost most of it. Judgment. After seeing that his attack was very effective, Tang Xiu was not affected by joy, but drew a cross gesture on his chest, and then the goblin who came from the side suddenly couldn't move his limbs. Looking at its movements and expressions, it was as if it had been crucified. At this moment, Tang Xiu quickly pulled out his weapon from his waist and mended the knife on the controlled goblin on the ground, and blood stained his clothes. But her movements did not stop. The dagger in his hand was thrown quickly to the side, and it hit the goblin hiding behind him with great precision, ready to attack. And at this time, a rest reminder appeared again in front of the two. Open black lens bracket rest time, 2 minutes. Close black lens bracket open black lens bracket after the rest, the second wave of monsters will be refreshed. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket.